Good morning. On my way to go to physical therapy this morning. I'm exhausted. I didn't sleep well last night. We'll talk about that a little bit more in this video. Ken is getting things straightened up for me. Yay, now I am on the walker, as you can see. So I'm going to be using my walker to get to the wheelchair instead of using what we call the sit to stand that you might have seen a while back. Let me get in the car and I'll come back with you all, okay? If I didn't already say it, welcome to Rolling with Eb and Ken and Eb, and just roll with us. Hey y'all, back from therapy. Actually in the parking lot at the grocery store getting some fruit. My husband went in to get it. But as I was telling you, I had a rough night last night. It's one of those things where some of the medications that I take, and probably vitamins too, have me going to do number one like every 2 hours. And so at first, when I first started shifting from just being in the wheelchair only, having to wear, something to be able to use the restroom because I couldn't go to the restroom. That was difficult, but it was easier on me as far as pain and constantly moving around. So I was sleeping throughout the night. But now that I am moving around, gratefully for that, very thankful for that, it's challenging. Last night was my first night just getting up constant to go to the bathroom. And so by 3:45, the next trip that I had taken to go to the restroom had already gone several times throughout that day. It was rough because I couldn't go back to sleep. So that's why I always look so tired like this, because it's challenging at times to get sleep. I'm wearing what they call AFOs, the artificial, foot orthotics, if I'm saying it right. Ankle foot orthotics, not artificial. Thank God I do have my limbs. But the ankle foot orthotics. And so when I'm wearing them, I have comfort and I feel pretty good. Helps me to stay stable, helps me to walk and move around. However, when I take those bad boys off, it literally feels like someone has broken my ankles and punched each one of my calves like a Charlie horse. And it feels like the bottom of my feet are so sore, like I just walked over hot coals, and they're trying to recover. And all of that is coming from the neuropathy and the year of being bedridden and not walking. And I looked it up. It says that it's normal when you take the ankle foot orthotics off that you hurt really, really bad, but when you put them back on, you feel good again. So it's taking some getting used to. But yeah, I'm keeping it real with y'all. I am not the happy, bubbly Eb that you probably used to seeing on camera, because I feel like I'm getting worn out at this point. It's been, if I go back, let me go back, because I'm not going to rush this video. And if you want to fast forward through the talking and just look at when I'm actually moving around, you can. That's up to you. But in 2023, I had something going on. They didn't know what it was really, with some pain and things like that in my joints. So I didn't travel any. Then 2024, this happened, Guillain-Barré Syndrome last year, which halted me completely, not able to walk, not able to feed myself, paralyzed for a few days. Go back and look at some of my other videos, you hear all the things that I went through. And so now I'm regaining strength, regaining mobility, and I'm frustrated because it's like, and I know nobody means no harm, so I pray that anybody that watches my videos never feels like I'm low-key talking about them or putting them down in any way, because I'm not. And I'm not a person that, if things aren't going great for me, then I want everyone else to suffer. I'm actually the opposite. When things are tough for me, I mostly stay away from people because I don't want to make them feel any type of way or bring their spirit down if they're up and I'm not. So I'm one of those kind of people. I call myself like a turtle. You know, hold it there. And my husband just get back in the car from going to the store. I'll show you the bag, and maybe I'll show you the fruit if you want to see the fruit. But anyway, as I was saying, and we're going to cut the air back on, so let me roll, well, he'll roll that window up, thank you. So the lighting won't be as good anymore. Sorry, because we've got a little bit of tint on the car window. But as I was saying, when I'm going through, I try to stay away from people because I don't want to bring them down, especially if they're happy and having a good time. But I feel frustrated right now because I haven't gone anywhere. I haven't been able to travel. Like I said, we've had some help, and I'm so grateful, but needing a lot more help than what we were able to receive or get from last year to this year. So we're both tired. We feel overwhelmingly exhausted from all that it takes with taking care of me and with me going through this physical therapy and trying to heal. We're talking about over a year. And so I get sad sometimes because, people are living their life, which they should. They're traveling and going here and going there and going to events. And I feel like my life is at a standstill or on hold because I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything. Nothing I'm doing is really for fun or for recreation or for entertainment. Everything is like work related. It's like going to get fitted for the AFOs. It's going to the doctor to figure out why my skin is breaking out. It's going to the pulmonologist to figure out why I was having breathing problems after I caught the 2019 virus last year. It's trying to figure out why this hand is now swollen. It's significantly more than the right hand. And I'm sure it's coming from the weight I'm putting on it and the physical therapy. It's going to physical therapy to relearn how to walk. It's going to the pharmacy to get my prescriptions filled. It's taking last year 30 to 40 pills a day down to now, thank God, 3 prescription pills twice a day and about 5 vitamins. About 6 vitamins now. So I'm grateful that those numbers have gone down. But if you hear what I'm saying, then you get a better understanding of why we're tired. And most of this has been the weight on my husband. And I know everybody talk about the vows, and trust me, he is honoring the vows 110% and then some. But it's challenging when it's 2 people. Feels like you're doing the work for like 10, and I know it's for myself. Don't get me wrong. This is not a pity party talk. This is not a woe is me. This is not a victim mentality. But I guess it's just one of those things where I want people to know the real raw truth of how this thing goes. If God forbid you ever have to go through something like this, whether you or a spouse, or if you have children, or a loved one, a mother or a father, if you have to become a caregiver or a sibling, it's no joke. It's no joke. And when I say you feel like you need every kind word, every kind gesture, every smile that you can get, you absolutely need it, because it's one thing to have a bad hour. It's one thing to feel like you had a bad moment. It's one thing to feel like you had a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, maybe even a bad quarter or a tough quarter. I won't even say bad, maybe just tough. But could you imagine from February of 2024 to now June, going into July of 2025, not to count 2023 when I was not feeling well and not quite sure what was going on and having joint problems or pain prior to any of this. And so I just ask that, you send the kind comments and thoughts my way, because they're very much needed and they are very much appreciated. I'm grateful. I really am. But I'm doing everything I can not to break down and cry at this point, because it's just a lot of work and it's hard. And I'm happy because I am improving. So, I don't want you to get the wrong message of, well, I thought she was saying this was working for her and that. And it is. But it feels like it's taking way too long. It feels like everything is inching around. And this is my second summer of not going to the beach thus far. I say thus far because I still plan on getting out there sometime this year. That's the goal. That's the goal of being able to, whether it's walk efficiently just with the walker, or whether it's walk with a cane, or whether it's walk with nothing. Either way, I want to walk out there on that beach and sit in me a beach chair and just enjoy the ocean and enjoy being away from home and enjoy not having to, worry about the house. I do a little light cleaning, not a lot at all, but like picking up around my area near my hospital bed, or just now started cooking in the kitchen with my husband, trying to help him. I'll chop up some stuff, which I'm excited about, because last year I couldn't even feed myself at the very beginning of the year, let alone have a knife and chop stuff. And so there are a lot of wins. but there are a lot of challenges, and there are way more challenges, it feels like, than there has been wins, in my opinion. Because again, I'm going from being bedridden for a year to now I'm with a walker and a wheelchair. I walk with the walker, like getting in and out of the car, going back and forth to the bathroom. But most of the time, if it's a long distance, like I have to get in the wheelchair, my husband has to push me because my hands doesn't really allow me to roll the wheelchairs as well as, or as fast as we probably need it to when we're out and about, because I'm still gaining that strength. But then also it's mainly the neuropathy that developed from the Guillain-Barré Syndrome. And no, I don't have diabetes. This weird stuff that's going on here with my fingertips, we're still trying to figure that out with my rheumatologist. And so I just came on here because as you're watching this video and you're watching me relearn how to walk, and you're watching me sometimes maybe have a meal, which I very rarely share, but I'll start sharing my meals and things like that, things that are working, because I want to encourage someone. But we have some great things coming, but I want to use this platform because it does help me tremendously, because I very rarely open up to family and friends of how I really feel. And honestly, it's because I don't want to be again a Debbie Downer, dampen their day or stress them out. And then to be honest, it's like a friend of mine said, sometimes people can't handle the heaviness that you have to go through. So that's why they may not be around, or that's why sometimes it's not always great to share everything. But here on YouTube, I feel like it's my channel. You don't want to hear it, you can delete it, you can pause it, you can not fast forward it or whatever. But look, I'm about to get out the car. I'm going to pick you back up once I get back inside, because I do want to finish this conversation. Because I do want to talk about mental health and how important it is to have a relationship with Christ. And that's what's kept me. And to also seek outside help if you need to. Because this kind of stuff ain't no joke. It is not for the faint at heart at all. All right, I'll be right back with you in a little bit. Hey, I am back in the house now. Had to put on my glasses because I was trying to read a few things on my phone. But yeah, we were just having a chat while my husband was in the grocery store getting fruit and getting me ready to come back home. But as I was stating, it's just been tough. I'm not going to lie. It's been really, really rough. And it seems like it's gotten tougher because I'm an outdoor person since it's gotten warmer. Now you can see the swelling of the hand that I was telling you about. This is the left hand. And then let me show you the right hand. See how much thinner. I got fat hands anyway, but you can see how much thinner this hand is in comparison to this hand. And it's so swollen I can barely stretch it all the way open. But again, we think it's just from the stress and strain of bearing down on the walker, along with me coming off of a blood thinner. And my doctor that comes to my house to see me, he felt like it was maybe a blood, not a dangerous blood clot, but like this blood bubble is what he called it, that sometimes happens when a person is coming off of the blood thinner. It will do that because it lingers in your body for a few weeks. Thank God I'm off of it. I'm so grateful. I've actually gotten off of 2 medications, and so it's just truly been a blessing, along with me moving around, beginning to walk. I'll show you my food when it's ready. My husband fixes me breakfast, lunch, and dinner pretty much every single day. Again, I'm so grateful for him. Sometimes I try to fix it together with him. Sometimes it's just too much. I'm not able to. But I will come back in a moment, okay? All right, this is my breakfast. As you can see, I got protein, eggs, and air fried sausage, and some fruit there. My husband normally separates it because he knows I have a fit. I don't like my food touching. Like, I know I'm kind of strange like that. I heard I get it from my grandpa. Yes, it is sitting on a pillow. I do sit upright eating in the bed because it's hard to eat on a table or anything like that because of the situation that I'm in. But anyway, this food looks fantastic. I'm ready to eat, so I will hit you all back after I finish my breakfast, and we'll continue on with the conversation and showing you a few more things before we end today's video. If you haven't already, remember to like, subscribe, and share. And as always, thank you. All right, this is my breakfast. As you can see, I got protein. All right, you all, it is getting late. Sorry, I'm just getting back with you. But after eating breakfast, I had so many other things to do. So, my sincere apologies. But let's talk a little bit more. I am getting sleepy. So as we were discussing earlier, excuse the hand, that's that fat giant hand that we're trying to deal with this week from therapy. I think it's coming from, see the bruises on my hands? I'll show you the other one. I think it's coming from, you see down there at the bottom, it's coming from bearing down on the walker. But as I was saying before, it's just rough when you're sick. I'm sick for a long period of time, and I wouldn't say I took being well for granted, because I remember I used to go to this church where the pastor would always say it's a blessing when you don't have to take a pill to get up in the morning or a pill to go to bed at night. And I never really got what he was saying until this happened to me, because literally while I was in the hospital, they had me on so much medication. It was ridiculous. I was on like 15 different prescriptions. I mean, medication to help me go to sleep, medication to control my blood pressure because it kept dropping too low, and I would get to the place of almost passing out. I was on medication for my bowels. I was having issues with my digestive system, so I would have these real sharp, hard pains, and then wouldn't a lot come out, and just weird stuff. So I was on something to kind of keep me really loose and regular. Then I was on something for nerve pain, which I still take that medication now. And I'm trying to think what else they had me on. It was crazy. Like I said, to God be the glory. I'm so grateful that I'm only taking 3 now. But I just want to encourage you to say a kind word to someone, or send them a text, or even just a hand wave, or if you have it in you to drive by and see about the person, drop something off, food, or ask them what they're in need of, or can you go pick up medication for them, if they need it, just anything you can do to help a person when they're not well. Mind me that I'm looking kind of tired. It's because I haven't really slept, because again, I'm trying to work on this, not needing any assistance for restroom at night other than me just getting up with my walker and walking to the bathroom, which is a couple feet behind me. But I'm in severe pain a lot when I am walking without my AFOs, which you'll see my AFOs. I'll put them back in this video so you can see them. They help me greatly when I'm walking, like during physical therapy. But when I get home, it's kind of like trying to take a nap in a business suit or in your church attire. You got to come out of that stuff. And so for me, I have to get out of the AFOs, those ankle foot orthotics, when I get home, because otherwise I'm uncomfortable. I can't, get in the bed with them and sleep with them. I have to wear special tennis shoes. I can't even wear like the Nikes and all the other nice tennis shoes that I have. Actually, I have a pair of Nikes that are really nice that I've never ever worn, or just tried them on like once. But I can't wear stuff like that because the AFO foot is so huge, and you'll see it. It looks like Bigfoot. It's like a big square, the top piece, and so you need a shoe that can bend and stretch to get the foot in there. Also, I have to be careful on how I walk, because I'm dealing with something called like drop foot. Like normally when you're laying in the bed, your feet looks like this for the most part, if I'm showing it right, or kind of like this really when you're sitting up, your toes are up in the air. But with mine, it's kind of more tilted down like this, They call that drop foot. And so when I'm walking, it kind of likes to drag and you almost like trip over your foot. So that's what the ankle foot orthotic helps. It helps to keep the foot like this when you're walking instead of like that, which causes you to trip. Well, at night when I don't have them on, I'm wearing another pair of shoes just so that I can walk to and from the bathroom, because I can't walk barefoot at all. My feet hurt that bad that they cannot touch the ground. Nobody can come up and just start like tickling my feet or touching my feet because they hurt that bad. So that's why I don't even go to get pedicures right now. I go to a podiatrist, a foot doctor, and he cuts my toenails, and that's it. No cute pain or none of that. So there's a lot of changes. I'm saying all this to say, to make you aware, if you're a friend, excuse me, I said that a little faint. I'm getting really tired now. I'm about to end this video really soon. But if you're a friend or a caregiver or a relative, you know somebody who's sick, especially who's been sick for any amount of time or dealing with something major, not anything that they're going to get over in the next month or 2 months or 6 months, or maybe it's something they've dealing with possibly for a lifetime. Check on that person. I don't care how old or how young they are. People just need to know that they matter in your life. People need to know that there's always someone out there that they can talk to if they're getting sad or falling into a depression or any type of sorrow from being sick or unable to live the life that they lived previously, or maybe it's taken them a long time to get back to it. It's easy when you're not in it to say, oh, it was only a year out of their life or a year and a half. That's a long time, a very, very long time. Think about people, like I said earlier, that you've heard someone say, I'm uncomfortable for an hour. Or maybe you've been uncomfortable for an hour or for 2 hours or for a week or 2 weeks. Just imagine a year, almost a year and a half at this point. That's no joke. That's nothing to play with. And if you're not really rooted and grounded in Christ, or have a great support group, friends and family members all around you supporting you, then I don't know what to say, because without those things, or some of those things, especially without Christ, I would say it's going to be hard. And the reason why I say Christ is I'm not discounting people, because I love my people. Thank you for all of you and for all of my family and friends who have been very supportive. Doing great. Like I said, I wanted more and more support because there's just so much to this situation with my health and such drastic changes. But the reason why I say Christ is because I honestly believe without him, I would be in a deep depression, or I would be angry, or I would be frustrated, or I wouldn't be pleasant to be around or to deal with or talk to. Or I would keep going around the same mountains about, why did this happen to me, God? Why me? I'm only in my 40s, mid 40s. I haven't done a lot of things that I want to do, don't have children yet. Definitely want children. Definitely was seriously looking into that prior to getting sick, my husband and I. So it's been a challenge, but it's also made me really consider other people, because I know I'm not the only one that's gone through this or is going through this or gone through something worse. I was doing some research, because I'm a huge researcher on what I'm dealing with as far as with the Guillain-Barré Syndrome and autoimmune diseases and how you get them and what happens to your body and what your body is doing to your body. And we'll get into all that type of stuff at another time, and I'll post some little things, nuggets that I've learned here and there to help you. But in my search, it was so disheartening. Oh my gosh. It took all I had not to break down and cry. Not for me, but I was reading a forum, and someone had asked a similar question to what I had asked. And it was regarding taking a certain medication for autoimmune disease. And this medication comes with a lot of risk. And I'm actually on that medication. But it took me about 5 months to agree to start taking the medication, because it came with so many risks. But when I went in that forum and looked, it was young people, 27, 31, 25, 37, 40, 50s. that were saying, you know, this happened to me all of a sudden, and I got this autoimmune disease. I became sick rapidly, and now I'm on this medication. And I just thought, oh my gosh, this happened to me in my 40s. I couldn't imagine in my 20s or even in my 30s. It's hard to even imagine without having lived it in my 40s that my life would change so drastically in such a short period of time, and it not be like a quick one and done, but skin looking all kinds of ways and different colors and different bumps and things, and you know, hair, all my hair had fallen out, every inch of it. It's growing back tremendously now I got like a medium cute fro when it's barely blow dried, and I'm sure if it was to be flat ironed, it would definitely hang, you know, at my collar, the top of my collar, or my neck collar, because it's grown that much. And I'm so grateful, because that just kind of confirms my health, and my nails and stuff have gotten a lot stronger. And I'm not pointing a finger at y'all, sorry. I look like I was giving y'all a middle finger. I wouldn't dare do that. But my nails and stuff have gotten stronger. And my breathing, I'm only coughing now because I've done so much today. And I did take a breathing treatment this morning, a nebulizer. Because like I said, when I got that virus last year after getting out of the Guillain-Barré, I then contracted that 2019 virus. And when I did, I started having some issues with the breathing. So I take a nebulizer, but I used to have to take one 4 times a day and would be short of breath all the time. And find myself coughing like 90% of the day. The cough was so bad, I would be like in tears, because my ribs would hurt, my chest would hurt, my head would hurt. I would be exhausted. But again, to God be the glory, that has really subsided. I only take one to 2 nebulizer treatments a day because I had therapy today. I feel like I need another one. I took one this morning so that I wouldn't be hacking and coughing during therapy, and so that I would, you know, my lungs would be open and ready. But I feel like I need another one, probably because, like I said, I've been up since 3:45 a.m. this morning, and it's like almost 6 p.m. my time now. So I've been up over 12 hours, so I'm getting ready to go to sleep, and I'm going to take me a good long nap. But I'm saying all this to say, you know, we need to hear this stuff. You know, my YouTube channel is about having fun, laughter, and being happy and bright. But it's also about being real and letting people see the real deal. And especially people who I might not talk to every day, but maybe they might come across my channel from someone else that told them about it. I need all the prayers I can get, the good prayers, the godly prayers. Because as I said before, my life has changed drastically in a short period of time, and it hasn't changed as fast as I want it to or would like it to. I'm improving, and I'm grateful to God. Lord knows I am for that. It's such a blessing. And that's what I'm telling you, some of the benefits and some of the changes, and you're seeing it in the videos where when I first started out, I would be wobbling like this because I couldn't keep my, I wasn't stable, and I could barely stand, and that's all I could do was stand, and I could get on a bike and ride for a few minutes, then my knees would hurt so bad, and then I couldn't really take any steps, and then I started taking steps with a walker, and then I could only do like 65 feet is the most I could do, and that would be in a whole hour. So that means I was tiptoeing down the hallway, holding on for dear life to my walker. They riding behind me with the wheelchair, and me barely being able to catch my breath, and having to stop every so many minutes just to sit down and then get back up. To go from that to being able to do like, the last time they did it, it was a round trip, total 449 feet. Being only able to stand for 2 minutes, then going up to 5 minutes. To the last time I did standing, it was like 7.5 minutes. And then I kind of got tired and needed to sit down. But I'm sure I can go beyond that. But that was after having rode the bike for like 15 minutes and having done some walking around the hall and doing some other type of exercises, and then doing my standing. But I just say to you to just remain encouraged if you are a person that's gone through what I've gone through or something similar or even worse, or you know someone that in time things will change. Everybody's situation may not change where they're totally out of the woods. My prayer is that it would. We would all like to think that. But we know, unfortunately, there are some situations where people may be in that state for a long, long time, maybe to the day that they go on to glory. And me, just the thought of that, I can't imagine. And so even when I was given some type of prognosis of only that it would take me 2 years before I would even start walking, or that if I didn't start doing certain things within the 2 years that I would never ever be able to do it again, or that I might only get 90% back of the 100% of the things that I may have lost at one time. The thought of that was just, oh my gosh. So for people who maybe believe or have been told that, this is where they're going to be for the rest of their lives, or that they are not going to be able to get that 100% back, or, whatever the case may be, my heart goes out to you. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for them. And when people say, oh, you're not praying for me, you don't know me. I might not know you, but God knows you. And when I send out a prayer on behalf of Ebony, I'm sending out that prayer on the behalf of anybody that's dealing with what I'm dealing with. Because I realize there's people all across the globe that's dealing with it. Or even people that are dealing with worse, where they're wheelchair bound for the rest of their lives, or they're, the different, I don't want to mispronounce it, but where from the waist down, there's no more feeling or movement, or from the neck down, or maybe it's the autoimmune and you're constantly going to be on medication for the rest of your life, so you've been told. Or you have been on medication for 5, 10, 20 years and it's just been sustaining, but you're not seeing much improvement. Or maybe it's just keeping the pain from being so constant. I don't know what it is or what it might be for you, but I do know, sorry, I'm leaning, that shows you that I'm sleepy. I just know it's got to be disheartening, and I'm one of those people that semi get what you're going through. And I say semi because I'm seeing improvement. I am now walking on a walker, and it is the goal to be walking independently of any other device sometime this year. That's my goal, that's my prayer, and I believe it. But for those, again, who that may not be the case, or maybe it is the case, but still, like me, you're tired, and it's been a long journey, and you're ready to see change, and you hear about all the wonderful things that everybody else is getting to experience, which is great, but you're not able to. You're home, you're in the house while the sun is out beautiful, and you're there. Or maybe you're in a wheelchair, and I didn't realize this until I had to be in a wheelchair, that you can't just roll the wheelchair out there on the sand. It's pretty tough to do that. So you can't go out on the beach. You might go to the balcony and see the sand. But if you're like me, you love the sand. When you go to the beach, you want to put your toes in the water, your ankles, your feet, your knees, sometimes all the way up to your waist. Or if you're a great avid swimmer and you want to swim, and those things may have been taken away temporarily or permanently. And that's why I say I semi-understand how that feels. Because, although I'm in my 40s, one doctor was like, you're like 75 on paper. And that was like a hard swallow to take in, because I was just like, wow. Because that one thing triggered so many things for me with the Guillain-Barré. It wasn't just the Guillain-Barré syndrome. I went from that to having blood pressure issues, never had any blood pressure issues, been on blood pressure medicine, dealing with breathing problems. Yeah, I dealt with asthma in the past, but it was very light. I wasn't on a nebulizer or any type of breathing machine to sleep. I was tested for sleep apnea, and as long as I lost weight, they said that, I wouldn't have to worry about it. So I did. I lost a lot of weight. So I wasn't really concerned about that. So I was pretty healthy for the most part. I didn't take any medications whatsoever. And I found myself having to take stuff for nerve pain. And then because I sat too long, I started dealing with more lung issues and getting more mucus buildup. Then because I wasn't using my joints as well as I used to, they started stiffening up more and hurting and getting more tender and swollen. And then I developed this neuropathy, so now my feet and hands hurt all the time and they're numb all the time. So it's this weird feeling of numb and pain. The list could go on and on. Again, I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying, I semi get what you're going through. If you're going through any of the above, gone through any of the above, or you're living it, that this is your life. And I couldn't imagine not having a partner that lives with me, my husband, that's with me every single day. That just blows my mind when I talk to people. My past, before I got sick, I used to, I had an insurance agency, still do, just not able to run it. So it's kind of sitting dormant right now. But when I used to write insurance for individuals, I used to do Medicare a lot. And when I would deal with a lot of seniors, I would just be so shocked at how many of them didn't have a relative that lived in their state. They didn't have caregivers. Some of these people were seniors, like I said, but some of them were not seniors, because I know a lot of people on Medicare that is in their 40s like me, or a little bit older, that they got it because they're on disability. And the thought of not having the caregiver, if they were to get in a state as bad as what I got into, I can't imagine. I mean, the blessing it is to have your spouse to cook you breakfast, lunch, and dinner, to be able to still provide with a job. Yeah, it's hard on them, and my husband doesn't get a lot of sleep, and we both know we look like we've aged by about 5 years or more. We know that's going to definitely change as I'm continuing to heal and get better sleep. We'll start back looking like ourselves again at some point in time. But that doesn't even matter to me right now, the looks, because it's more about your quality of life. And when you've had an active life and you go to kind of a non-active life, completely get like 0 from 100 to 0, that's unimaginable. And to go through that for a long, long time is just even more unimaginable. And then to, like I said, be able to still celebrate with everybody else, because that's what we do as an adults. You know, you mature. Just because you're having a tough time doesn't mean everybody else is. And you, like my girls say, don't go making nobody else have a bad day because you haven't one. And that's me. I don't believe in making nobody else have a bad day, or feeling like others shouldn't celebrate or have fun because I'm not. But it is challenging sometimes when you hear it, because your mind automatically goes back to, ooh, I would love to be at the beach. That sounds nice. Or, ooh, I would love to go to that event and have some fun, just let my hair down and just relax and enjoy the atmosphere, you know? Or, ooh, that sure sounds good to be able to just eat that such and such, and no thoughts about, are you going to be coughing and hacking later because you're dealing with this lung stuff now? Or the weight gain, you know, you got to be real careful when you're in a wheelchair or you're trying to relearn how to walk, because any extra pounds makes it that much harder to get on the move. Or when you hear someone celebrate, you know, their children, their newborns, their firstborn, their second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth born. You don't have any children. That stuff is people don't talk about it, or maybe your friends or family are not going to tell you, or we're not going to talk about it, but that's some challenging stuff. I'll put it that way. So I hope this video encourages someone to keep going, not to give up, to keep living life, celebrate with those who celebrate, and for God knows somebody needs to cry with you when you need to cry. Celebrate with those who celebrate, but somebody should cry with you when you need to cry, because it is just no joke out here. And on that note, I'm just going to go ahead and end it here. This video is going to be pretty long. If you haven't already realized that, I'm purposely putting this video out and pretty much putting everything in there and not taking a lot of edits from it, because I just want this to hit home for some people, to soak in, to marinate, so that you can help somebody else, so that you can love on somebody else, so that you can love on yourself, so that you can be encouraged, so that you don't give up, so that you can fight the best fight of faith you got until the very last drop, until you go on to glory. So you can be a motivation and inspiration for someone else. You know, that's what it's all about. All right. I love you all. Thank you for watching Rolling with Ken and Eb. No, you don't get to see Ken very much because most of the time he's recording. If he's not recording, he's driving. If he's not driving, he's cooking. If he's not cooking, he's cleaning. If he's not cleaning, he's picking up last minute items that we might have not ordered, because we do order groceries and things like that now. It helps out a whole lot. Sometimes we do. But either way, Ken is always busy. So you probably won't see him very much right now, but it's coming soon. Where he won't be as busy and he'll be able to just sit and chop it up with you all with me, or you'll be able to see the both of us on camera. And that's going to be fun. All right. Until the next time. Rolling out.